Good morning. I'm Anastasia Jaster Cox, and I welcome you to Unity of St. Petersburg, where we celebrate God, the good, and principles of unity as a positive path for spiritual living. We are pleased to join you in celebration and worship this morning, whether you are here in the sanctuary or with us on Zoom. If you are here in the sanctuary, please silence your cell phones, put them on airplane mode, something. And we have a very special guest today. I'm honored to welcome Dr. Will Tuttle, a visionary writer, composer, pianist, educator, and author of the best-selling book, The World Peace Diet, published in 18 languages. He received a PhD in education from the University of California at Berkeley. He is a former Zen monk and Dharma master in the Korean Zen tradition. He currently conducts music, art, and education ministry with his wife, Madeline. A visionary artist from Switzerland, Madeline specializes in paintings that celebrate the beauty of animals and nature. She is a flautist and Waldorf teacher. Dr. Will Tuttle travels and provides lectures, concerts, workshops throughout North America and all over the world. So I would now like to warmly welcome Dr. Will Tuttle to open our service with a prayer.
Thank you, Anastasia. Thanks so much. I'm really glad to be back at this beautiful sanctuary. I just checked the last time we were here was in 2005. We came here a few times, 2001, 2003, 2005, 2026. So it's been 20 years. Thanks for keeping the fire burning here. So let's turn our attention within for our opening prayer and feeling our connection with this beautiful earth on this beautiful morning and with the infinite spirit indwelling. We give thanks for this precious opportunity we have here this morning to connect more deeply with the inner well springs of wisdom and truth and understanding, awareness and love. We give thanks for this opportunity to celebrate that one life lives through all of us, that we are all related with all living beings. And we give thanks knowing that we are part of the awakening of human consciousness on this beautiful earth. During these critical times, we give thanks for all the teachings, for the divine love that inspires us every day to awaken out of the delusion of separateness to the truth that unity teaches, that there is a healing power that is unstoppable and that our true nature is eternal consciousness that was never born and will never die. Through the power and presence of the infinite spirit of truth and love indwelling, we give thanks, knowing this is so, and so it is. Thank you.
I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. I let my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
We wanted to say we appreciate you all being patient with the man party here today. So just nice to be here.
Okay, so the next one is My Soul is Often Here.
right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. Yes, I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. At the right time, I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome here.
Yay! Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. You guys are amazing. We welcome everyone who is with us today, those on Zoom and in the sanctuary, and those with us in spirit. We believe that there are many paths to God and many names for God, but there is only one power and one presence, and it is good, God the good. Unity invites us to awaken the Christ within with practical applications for everyday positive living in order to make a difference in our world. For those visiting Unity of St. Petersburg for the first time today, we welcome you. If you are here for the first time, please take a moment to complete the two-sided form guest sheet in the chair on the back of the chair in front of you. If you fill out this form and bring it to the lobby, we will have a special gift for you. We will also add you to our monthly newsletter. We are very grateful that you have been guided to Unity of St. Petersburg and invite you to return. As for announcements, today after service, Dr. Tuttle will hold a workshop opening the intuitive gate. The workshop starts at noon and is on a love offering basis. The next Unity question and answer session will be on March 1st. And we will hold a spring concert with Zap Shenra at 7 p.m. on March 13th. That is also on a love offering basis. More information will follow on that. We have a new member Sunday coming up. If you are interested in becoming a member, we welcome you. Please sign in on the new membership sheet that's out in the lobby. We will hold an orientation on Sunday, March 15th, and a celebration on March 22nd. A reminder that we are still collecting non-perishable foods for the free clinic. Our collection bin is just inside the room that has the glass on the door. An idea for contributing: if you go to the supermarket and they do BOGOs, donate the free item. We have name tags if you would like to wear one on Sundays. The cost per name tag is $3. Once service is over, you can leave it in the basket on the desk in the entryway, and that way it's here every Sunday for you to wear. Additionally, the bookstore has new Lent booklets, Release and Reimagine. These booklets are very inspirational for your journey through this Lent season. The cost is $5, and Lent began on February 18th. Now, let us speak our statement of faith, which is the foundational principle of unity. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the good omnipotence. And then let's take a moment and bless our children. Together, to all of God's children, you are guided and protected. We bless you. We love you. You are the light of the world. And I believe I will now welcome up Glenn to do the daily word as well as our healing list reading. Hold on, bear with us. There's no daily.
Good morning. Now, there had been one up here, but I had made a copy at home, so we have it. Good morning. And this is a really good daily word today also. The daily word for today is release. I release old beliefs as I grow and evolve. So many things shaped my beliefs over the years. My upbringing, family history, education, friendships, and spiritual life, to name a few. As I go through life, I will have new experiences and meet all kinds of people. I may find old beliefs that once fit me well no longer. Growing and deepening in spiritual understanding may mean releasing ways of thinking that no longer serve me. But I can do that and still honor the person I was, my background, and my history. Releasing makes room in my mind and opens my heart for the person I am becoming. Releasing my old beliefs readies me for a future of growth and evolution. And from Scripture, Jeremiah chapter 40, verse 4, "Now look, I have just released you today from the fetters on your hands. See, the whole land is before you. Go wherever you think it good and right to go." And you have the prayer list. And, there it is. Now that is here. And now let us take a moment to pray for our loved ones in our hearts and minds, and those who are on our prayer list. Rebecca, Michael, Ramon, Jean, Judy, Linda, Pam, Jan, Sharon, Sheila, John, Margaret, Luke, Cody, Sherry and family, Jenna, and Rondell.
Thank you. I'd like to go ahead now and invite all of us to join together in our time of meditation, which I'll be doing right from here at the piano. So get comfortable, even more comfortable in your seats if you can, and we'll go into our time of meditation together. Thank you. exhalation now as we connect with our breathing. Letting go of any thoughts of the past or the future. Allowing ourselves to enter more deeply into this present moment. The only holy moment is right now. We savor this moment, abiding in this sanctuary of love, giving thanks knowing that this outer sanctuary is a manifestation of the inner sanctuary where we dwell always in unity with the infinite eternal love that is the source of our life, the source of all life. So we give thanks for this outer sanctuary, this outer community, and everyone who helps contribute to this community. And we give thanks for all of our loved ones. We give thanks for all of our teachers. For all of the teachings of all of the world's spiritual traditions that turn our minds away from the delusion of separateness to the truth of the infinite interconnectedness of all life. And we give thanks for this beautiful earth and for all of the rivers and oceans, mountains and prairies, the forests and trees and all of the living things, the beings. Celebrating their lives in the sky and in the water, on the land. We give thanks for their example of harmony. And we give thanks for the whole human family on our great adventure of awakening spiritually to the truth that what we are is eternal consciousness. We give thanks knowing that the light that shines at the very heart of the universe is shining right now in our heart. Is shining in every cell of our being, in every dimension of our affairs, bringing every aspect of our life into harmony with the eternal truth that we are, and with the unique ministry and mission that we are here on this earth to fulfill in this lifetime. And so we just allow the music now to deepen our connection with the truth that we are. Together we take a moment now to enter the silence, the source of all music, all melody. Abiding in our true home, abiding in love, abiding in joy, abiding in compassion, abiding in abundance, abiding in harmony and peace, abiding in freedom, abiding in wisdom, abiding in truth. May all beings be happy and at peace. May all beings be free. May we all realize the original brightness of our minds and hearts. And may we continue to work together to build a more enlightened society, a world that reflects the truth of the inner Christ, truth shining in our heart.
Right now.
Through the power and presence of the infinite Spirit of truth and love, we give thanks, knowing this is so. And so it is. Thank you for joining together in our meditation time. And I'd like to share a piece of original piano music now. This is called Dance for the Arctic Moon. And it's dedicated to all of the animals of this earth. Madeline, my wonderful wife, has some paintings up here you may have noticed of the other beings we share this earth with, this beautiful planet. And it's also dedicated to the sacred feminine dimension of consciousness, the inner capacity we have to be receptive to the higher wisdom that's always present. So I'd like to just dedicate this music to the healing of all of our relations and invite you as you're listening to let the music take you on an inner journey. Enjoy. Thank you. Dance for the Arctic Moon. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you to this beautiful piano and the tuner and all of you for creating the space and the platform where this is possible. So it's great to be back again, like I said earlier, and the main thing I think we'd like to share this morning is the power that we each have individually to connect with our inner wisdom, and through that to live our life authentically, to live our life. And that when we do that, we become part of the awakening and healing of humanity and of our understanding on this planet. And I think it's wonderful also to remember at the very beginning of our service that we're part of a much larger movement, the unity movement. And Madeline and I have been blessed to be part of this for many years. We've been, I think, probably to more unity churches than any human in the history of the world at this point. We've been doing it for 40 years, going to unity churches. And I just love this movement because it's based on the foundation of the idea, I think the essential idea really is inclusivity. And include that everyone is welcome here, and we include all living beings within the sphere of our compassion, and we include all the world's spiritual traditions, the wisdom that we have. There's not this sort of provincial idea that we have the one truth, that everybody has to believe what we believe, but we really have this idea that each one of us can connect authentically with the inner wisdom within us, and that as we do that, we begin to connect with a tremendous healing power and a power of joy, and we begin to start to be part of the solution to the problems on this earth rather than just being part of the problem. And Charles Fillmore is kind of famous for kind of summing that up with the idea, as he put it, that each one of us can go straight to headquarters. And that idea that each one of us can have a spiritual practice. For him, he had a kind of a special advantage for him. He could just ask Myrtle. That was easy, but and I can just ask Madeline. I go straight to headquarters that way. But each one, otherwise we have to, and I think actually I'd like to say this, each one of us to go straight to headquarters, it really requires us, I believe, to cultivate a practice. And so I'd like to encourage all of us to do the best we can to have a regular daily spiritual practice. How many of you already have a daily spiritual practice that you can, whoa, look at that, fantastic. Yeah, I really think it's essential foundation for a life of joy and freedom and understanding, because we are, from the time we're little kids, we're born into a society somewhere on planet Earth, and we are like a little sponge, and so we just soak everything up, right? Their language becomes my language. Their food becomes my food. Their attitudes become my attitudes. And so we're just soaking it all in. And as we look at our lives right now, as we get up in the morning and we do various things and we live our life, what is it that's actually propelling us? That's a really interesting question, because something is propelling us. Something is having us do this and do that and so forth. And essentially, I think it's one of two things. It's either the cultural program or it's something else. And what I mean by the cultural program is just everything that we have taken in, from our parents and from our teachers and from all the media and the television and all of the ministers. I don't mean Reverend Laurie, but the other ministers, all these other, we just soak all that in, and it kind of creates the person that we are, and so we're doing that. But it's basically, in many ways, it's on automatic. It's kind of a cultural program that we've been programmed, and we're doing it, and we're told that if we do it well, we'll get the rewards, and if we don't, we'll get penalties and so forth. But there's another possibility, and that is we can be propelled by our inner wisdom, our true nature. And when that happens, that's the beginning of spirituality, actually. This is what I refer to as our intuition. So we can be going to church every Sunday and doing all the good things and so forth, but if we're just doing it out of a sense of conditioning, it's a very different thing than when we actually connect and are guided by this inner wisdom that is present. The key to that, actually, is the ability to quiet our mind. How many of you have ever practiced meditation? And some of you, I'm sure, have. So you've noticed, my old Zen teacher said, that when we first start meditating, we realize that there's a popcorn popping machine that we can't find the plug. We can't turn it off, right? It's got one thought after another, and the thoughts are usually attached to some kind of a feeling, and we wish we would have said that when they said this, or we wouldn't have done that when they did that, or what are we going to do? And we're going to have for lunch today anyway. But, so we're just going on and on. So that's what's driving us, really, is this popcorn popping machine. It's our thoughts, create our feelings, create our actions, and so forth. So the great wisdom traditions have all encouraged us to take time to quiet the mind. And so Madeline and I, every morning, for a few hours, we just meditate. We spend time in silence, do a little bit writing in a journal, and some reading of sacred texts, and maybe then some yoga. Where we live in Northern California, I can go and take a swim in the lake down below the house where we live. But the whole idea is connecting with nature and connecting with our true nature. To create that foundation in our life, that then for the rest of the day, then we can carry that. That's very essential because we're being bombarded with divisive, fear-based delusion. Remember what Krishnamurti said? He said, it's not a good idea to be well-adjusted to a profoundly sick society, right? So that's the thing, that's the challenge, that's the challenge in a sense, is because we like to be well-adjusted, we like to get along with everybody and have everybody like us and so forth, and yet there's something in us, I think, that yearns to help build something more beautiful, more awake, more enlightened, more in harmony than what we see around us. And it's that, I think, that brings us here. I know if you found your way through the door here and you're here, that you're already questioning a lot of the official narratives in our society. And bless you for that. That's wonderful. And to create a community where we're doing that. And in many ways, it's based on the critical idea, that we're not this physical body. That's the most important thing. The main program we get is that we're this thing. And once you believe that, then the struggle is never ending, because then we have to try to get what we want, keep away what we don't want, and everybody's doing the same thing. So we're competing, and we're dominating, and we're being dominated, and so forth, and animals pay a big price. The earth pays a big price. People with less privilege pay a big price. So the whole idea is, like Jesus said, and all the great spiritual teachers agreed, is that Jesus said, my kingdom is not of this world. And we think we can get happiness here with all this stuff. Like if we just bought the right thing, had the right relationship, had the right house. That's not it. Our joy is internal and eternal. We don't need anything in the outer world to have a sense of joy. When the mind is quiet and at peace, wow, there's tremendous joy. It's ever present. It's like a bubbling spring. It's ever present. And so, like in the Buddhist tradition, just as an example, they had a few symbols at the beginning. They never had this idea of a statue of a human being. Like you always see this Buddha. That was hundreds of years later when the teachings went to Greece. They said, well, you should have a statue of this guy. But in the early days, the main symbol was the wheel, the eightfold path, the 8 spokes of the wheel, and a tree, because the Enlightenment tree, and there's a tremendous symbolism in trees. And the third one I think is interesting is the footprint. Because if you go to the beach here and you walk along the sand and you see a footprint, you don't go up to the footprint and go, good morning, Mary. How are you doing this morning? It's just a footprint. It's not the person that made the footprint. So remember, this is a footprint waving to you right now. We see footprints. We don't see the being. The being is non-corporeal, eternal consciousness, manifesting for a few short decades through a physical appearance. We identify with this. We see each other as a certain age and race and this and that, and we identify that in ourselves and all of our memories and this whole collection. And yet, when we quiet our mind, we realize we're far less than that in a sense, but far more. And that understanding can help us tremendously to become healers ourselves. When we look beyond the outer form to the being that is always divine perfection, we become a force for healing and a force for kindness and awakening, because we see beyond what divides us to the truth that there is one life living through all living beings. Bless you. So I think this is something that we can cultivate And it really requires us to do the inner work and then also the outer work every day. As Paul said very clearly, praying without ceasing means, in a sense, connecting with the truth and bringing it into our life, radiating as best we can a sense of loving kindness and compassion for other expressions of life, for everyone around us. Because everyone we see, we're all suffering, right? I mean, is there anyone in here who has never suffered? we know we've all gone through suffering, and we are in many ways still suffering. We have challenges, financial, relationship, career, all kinds of things. And so when we can just be kind and loving with everyone we meet, we're creating a foundation for joy in their lives and in ours as well. It sounds simple, but it's actually something that we can do and engage in. And it comes out of understanding our true nature. You know, they asked the oldest living human being, a woman from Japan, a few years ago, I read this. What's it like? You're the oldest living human being. You're 119 years old. What's it like to be 119, the oldest human? And she said, it goes by very quickly. So that's it. Our life is precious. It goes by quickly. It's transient. Every day is a gift, an opportunity to learn and grow, to remember, to contribute. So I'd like to just close with just a few words about what brought me into this room also, because I know we all have a story. You know, I was born and raised in Concord, Massachusetts, back in the 1950s, and I remember it was a kind of an interesting place, because Concord, Massachusetts was where the revolution started, right? In 1775, hardly a man is now alive that remembers the famous day and year of the midnight ride of Paul Revere. You know, so we would celebrate the revolution on April 19th every year. My father would get his Minuteman outfit on and get the gun off the wall, and we'd all march down to the Old North Bridge and celebrate the revolution, you know, freedom. And then later in the 1800s, there was another more philosophical revolution. It was called the Transcendentalist movement. So I learned to swim in Walden Pond. I went to Thoreau School and Olcott School. Was born in Emerson Hospital. You know, so these Transcendentalists were interesting people. I started studying them when I was in college. They were the first ones, really, to bring the teachings of Asia into North America, and had a big impact on Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, the co-founders of Unity, on Mary Baker Eddy, the founder of Christian Science, and so forth. The whole idea was, like, these teachings were enriching in many ways the teaching here in the West. For example, the idea from the Taoist tradition of God as this principle, a divine, infinite principle that we can learn to understand and harmonize with that. And the idea from the Buddhist tradition of God as an infinite mind that we can connect with, that is actually our mind. And then the idea from the Hindu tradition that God is equally female as male, that whole idea. So these ideas were very interesting in bringing a lot of new understanding in life. And so I remember in my own life, as I went away to college, and my father owned a whole chain of newspapers. So I was basically set to take over this publishing empire that he had built. And but I started reading these teachings, and they led to one book that some of you may have heard of. It's an old book from the 1890s called Cosmic Consciousness by Richard Buck, a psychologist, I guess, from Canada. But he said basically, most people live our lives at what he called self-consciousness. We care about ourself, basically. When it comes right down to it, that's who we care about. And maybe a few people close to us, our family, our tribe, something like that. But he said a few rare people had attained what he called cosmic consciousness, which was they had escaped from that prison, and they lived basically a life of love for all living beings. And people like Jesus and the Buddha and other great sages and saints and mystics and poets and seers, both men and women through the ages. And he gave examples of these people and how they had been able to attain sort of an intellectual illumination, he said, a moral elevation, a spiritual awakening, really. And he said that it is the destiny of every human being to attain cosmic consciousness. That's really our purpose here. So Earth is in many ways like a school or a training ground for us to, work and to attain a higher consciousness. So I remember going home on the breaks from college. I went to college in Maine, Colby College. And I remember talking to my parents and saying, Mom, Dad, you know about cosmic consciousness, right? You know, we're not here just to do all this stuff. We're here to attain a higher consciousness. And I remember my father, they kind of understood. My mother was an artist. My father taught me to play the piano, you know. But I remember him also saying, well, you know, that education you're getting up there, you know, that's costing me quite a lot of money. How's that going to help you get ahead in the world? So anyway, I talked to my younger brother, Ed, about these ideas. And to my delight, he said, yes, let's do it. Let's attain cosmic consciousness. You know, I mean, come on, let's do it. So we went to I had just graduated from Colby, so we went to my parents and we said, you know, we're going to attain cosmic consciousness now. And they said, well, what are you going to do? And we thought about it, and then we knew exactly what to do. It's obvious. It's 1975, you want to attain cosmic consciousness, you go to California. So we said, we're going to go to California. And they said, oh, all right. And my father actually, bless his heart, he actually quoted Thoreau. He said, every man must march to the beat of the drum that he hears. If that's what you're feeling, you have our blessing. So I remember we walked down the driveway. We had 2 little backpacks, some fresh baked cookies from my mother, and we headed to California. We were going to walk the whole way with no money. Just walk, and like the sadhus of India, just walking and meditating. And so that's what we did. And we got as far as Buffalo. And, and in Buffalo, it was freezing. I mean, it was October, and I thought, you know, I've got a master's degree, a bachelor's degree from a pretty good school. I think I can figure it out. We'll just head south. So we changed our plan, and we just started walking south down through upstate New York into Pennsylvania, all the way across Pennsylvania into West Virginia. We walked in, and we had no money. We were just sleeping on the floor of churches or in the forest or sometimes in jails or rescue missions or all kinds of places. And but when we got into West Virginia, they said, boys, you're in the Bible Belt. And I didn't know what that meant, but I found out pretty quickly. So we worked our way all the way through West Virginia. That took forever, these hills. And we worked on these little back roads. And then we got into eastern Kentucky, into Appalachia, and across Appalachia and down into Tennessee. And we really, I have to say, we saw miracles happening, in a sense. I mean, we never starved. We just kept focusing on our practice. The practice we learned about that we were doing was a meditation practice by a man named Ramana Maharshi, who said, do self-inquiry. Find out who you are. Go deeper and deeper with the question, who am I? So we were walking on these little roads, maybe 20 miles a day, just going, who am I, who am I, who am I? And somehow, it was autumn, so there were zucchinis and apples and something. Somehow we did fine. And I remember at one point, we were in some little church in eastern Kentucky, and they asked us to speak to the Sunday school kids, and they thought we must be angels. You know, we were just walking along. But I remember that we went into the Sunday school, and we told the kids, what Jesus said is true. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. Everything else shall be added unto you. That's it. Focus, number one priority is your spiritual path. If you focus on that, everything will unfold. If you neglect that, it's not going to go so well. And I remember they gave us $30, which back then was a lot of money, you know, for talking to their kids. And so we walked down, we stopped, we had lunch at this little restaurant. Back then, lunch for 2 people was about $12, so we gave the waitress an $18 tip, and we kept going because we felt like every day we'd just take care of itself. And so we ended up finally in Tennessee at a community called The Farm. We've heard about The Farm. And The Farm in 1975 was the largest hippie commune in the world, and they were all from California. They had come out from San Francisco. So, and there was 900 people living there. They were all vegetarians. I've never eaten meat in my life since that day. I was there. I found out years later when I met Madeline, she in Switzerland has never eaten meat in her life either. And so we lived there for a while. Then we continued farther south to Huntsville, Alabama. And there was a Zen center there. And so that was perfect. We could just meditate every day, all day. And then eventually I got out to California. Eventually I shaved my head, became a Zen Buddhist monk in Korea. Eventually came back, got my master's degree, PhD at Berkeley, taught college, all these things, and then I discovered unity. And I really have to say, and so now for the last, like I say, 35 years or so, Madeline and I met Madeline, it's been actually 33 years we've been married, and we've been going to unity because I think, I just want to close with this idea, the unity movement, I think is, like I said, so healthy because it really has the fullness of the wisdom teachings in a form that is accessible to us, and it's up to us to live it. And I really feel that the most important thing for us when we come to this earth is these two things. Number one, to do the inner work, to question the official narratives, to quiet our mind, connect with our inner wisdom. And number two, to live this in the outer world, to help create communities so that these teachings, these precious ancient wisdom teachings, do not get lost and destroyed. There are powerful forces that want to destroy this wisdom. And it's really through us doing our work, inner work, and then outer work to build a community so we remind each other. It's remembering these truths. In the Buddhist tradition, there's the three jewels, and which is the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. So the Buddha is basically what we call the inner Christ. It's our true nature, the eternal being that we are. The Dharma is the teachings that help us, that remind us, that help us to reconnect with and awaken to the inner Christ, the inner Buddha nature. And the Sangha is the community of people who are interested in this and support each other in that. And the Buddha said, if there is no Sangha, there will be no Buddha and no Dharma. So it's the Sangha is really critically important. So I want to thank all of you for the efforts you're making, both internally and also to help build and maintain and keep the community alive, the community spirit that questions the official narratives of separateness and reminds us of the truth that there is one life living through us all. I'd like to just close with just a short piece of music called Benediction of Light, and just send this out to the whole city and into our world as a benediction. It's an original piece of music, and just let the music perhaps take you on a journey. Enjoy. This is Benediction of Light. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. And I'll turn it over now for our love offering time. Thank you.
Now it's time for our love offering. And the ushers ready to come? And first we'll speak together our offering blessing together. Divine love, moving through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
And as the baskets go around, I'll display a short piece called Around the World. Enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you, Will. And now let's stand to say our prayer for protection, and then we will sing the peace song. Oh, sorry. Sorry, in a moment.
Just quickly, before we say our prayer, closing prayer, just want to remind everyone that Madeline and I will be here at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, we'll have our workshop on opening the intuitive gate. You know, Albert Schweitzer said the key to happiness is good health and a short memory. So we'll teach some techniques of meditation and imagery along with music and art to help everyone who's attending our workshop connect with your own unique way of accessing your inner wisdom, your inner guidance system, your intuition. So please join us afterwards. Thank you so much. Bless you. Thank you.
The prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are weak. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment